mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 8x8 webinar series, Empowering Conversations. And today's topic is going to be Virtual Office Online and Virtual Office Pro. I'm your host today. My name is David Leach. I'm with the 8x8 team here in San Jose, California. I hope you're having a great Friday, wherever you may be today. And as we're getting October kicked off here, we're heading into that part of the year where things get a little challenging weather-wise. So it's great here that you've got Virtual Office in front of you that is a service that you can keep up and running and access wherever you may be, wherever the weather and business takes you. What I'm going to be doing today, the webinar is set up in such a way that I am presenting information to you, but I want this to be interactive as much as possible. So if you look at your conference console, about halfway, two-thirds of the way down on the console there, you'll see a questions bar. I want you to use that questions bar as we're going through the session today to send me your comments, your questions, anything that comes to mind that you want to share with me at that point. And if you could use that questions bar right now, go ahead and post to me a comment indicating that you can hear me, and that'll do two things. One, it'll let me know that I'm not talking to myself because I don't like doing that. And number two, it'll ensure that you found the questions bar and you know how that plays out. Perfect. Beautiful. Thank you, everybody. All right, cool. So today's session, what we want to do is I'm going to give you a quick overview of what Unified Communications is from 8x8. It's called Virtual Office Online, Virtual Office Pro. I'm going to offer a live demo for you. I'm going to show you our Virtual Office desktop client as well as our Virtual Office mobile client. And as we're going through the session towards the end, I am going to show you where you can find certain resources that I think will be beneficial to you. You can use those or not, as the case may be. They're very easy to find. And I'll show you ways that you can find resources quickly and easily from Virtual Office itself as you're going through your day-to-day activities. And as I said, throughout the session, I want to ensure that I am answering your questions. So I'll save some time at the end, but post the questions as they come to you because, you know, that tends to be a more appropriate way. You think you're going to remember it, and then you forget, and maybe you don't need to because I covered it anyway, but you never know. With that in mind, I have a couple questions I want to ask you so I got a better understanding of who it is I'm talking to and what your familiarity is and your usage pattern is with Virtual Office. So if you could take a quick moment here and post to me your answer to this question. On average, how often do you use Virtual Office Online or Virtual Office Desktop? There's 5 different answers there. Select the one that applies most appropriately to you. And I'll give everybody a chance to cast their votes. I'm hoping, might as well just cast your vote there. It's a quick and easy question, and it'll help us move the thing along. Perfect. Got everybody. All right, so it looks like we've got a mix here. And I'll share with you what I'm seeing here. So we've got a mix of folks who are using Virtual Office frequently and a mix of folks who have never used Virtual Office. All right. So I will try my best to make sure that I can give you a webinar that's going to be interesting on both sides of that picture. My next question here is for those of you who are using Virtual Office, which of the following features do you use? And I can cover all of these as we're going through the session. And since some of you have never seen it, I will cover all of them, but I can emphasize the ones that are not more familiar to you. So please cast your votes on this one. The polling is open. You should be seeing the question. And great. Excellent. I love it when everybody is engaged and interactive, especially on a Friday. You know, what the heck? Okay, brilliant. And I will share with you what I'm seeing on that response. Looks like we've got a wide set of features being used, so that is great to see. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, and then my last question for you, I promise, is this one here, and that is, which features are you most interested in hearing about today as we go through the session? And I'm prepared to talk about all of these. I can go into depth on any of these, and I'll go into depth on any of the questions that you guys pose me. This question is available. Cast your votes. I'm just killing time talking here while you guys are voting, all right? So, but there we go. We're getting a lot of folks casting their votes, so that's good. Advanced call forwarding is coming up strong. I can appreciate that. It's a cool feature, as all of these are, actually. All right, brilliant. It looks like the voting's slowing down, so I will close the poll and get on with it. All right, so I'm seeing a mix of interest in advanced call forwarding, mobility services, Virtual Office Pro, and voicemail history. All right, these are all great topics for you, and let's get started here. So when you signed up for Virtual Office here, and there's a couple of questions came in. All righty, okay, I'll get to those as we come through here. So when you signed up for Virtual Office, you gained access to a very powerful unified communications service. And that means that you've got access through your Virtual Office client to handle not only telephone calls, but you can handle contact center functionality, not through Virtual Office, but that is something that we offer through our Virtual Contact Center service. But you've got presence awareness. If you've got an organization where people are in multiple locations, or people are mobile, they may generally come into the office, but they're mobile, presence is really powerful because it lets you know who's available at any given time, and you can automate it largely, and I'll show you how to do that. You've got conferencing functionality, audio, video, and web conferencing built into your client so that you don't have to sign up for external services at an extra fee and then have a disjointed user experience because they're external services that are separate from your communications model. We've got collaboration capability. That's really part of the conferencing, but it also integrates with your email. And you've got your voicemail and unified messaging capabilities, and of course telephony and integration to your mobile devices, Android and iOS devices. So very powerful service bringing together the various models of communications into one centralized client that you can take with you wherever you go. That's really what Virtual Office brings to the table. This slide shows you some of the key features that are a part of the Virtual Office package. On the left-hand side are the features that come with every single extension that is part of your 8x8 Virtual Office system. So everybody's got the ability to have this online dashboard, the Virtual Office desktop or Virtual Office online client. Everybody's got a soft phone, so you can use your computer as your business desk phone, your business telephone, your business video phone, and your conference console control panel. You've got smartphone integration to your Android and iOS devices. You've got chat and video built into the service. You've got your corporate directory with you wherever you go. So let's say you find yourself on vacation and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing on vacation, which is forgetting about work, but something comes up, you know you're supposed to follow up with somebody or somebody calls you on your cell phone or whatever, and now you need to respond to something. Well, you can go into the hotel there at the beach, log into the computer that's connected to the internet in that hotel, and gain access to your corporate directory right there on that computer because you were smart enough not to bring your computer down there on vacation. And that's how flexible it is for you to gain access to your services. You've also got it on your smartphone, so you're somewhere, anywhere in the world, and now you want to call somebody in the corporate directory. You've got your corporate directory right there on your smartphone application, right there at your fingertips, and it's presence aware. So you can see whether these folks are on the line, who's available, who's offline, etc., and know right there before you reach out the best person to connect with, the most available person to connect with in whatever situation you find yourself in real time. So that's some of the power that you've got at your fingertips. And then the integrated voicemail box, the ability to have your voicemails sent to your email and access those, and also have your voicemails all in one voicemail box. The fact that you've got one number access with Virtual Office means that you can have all of your business calls and all of your business messages come in through one number and one mailbox. So that's a very powerful advantage. You want to make sure you use it that way and take advantage of that service. And then advanced call forwarding and things like that. The Virtual Office Pro bundle takes 3 value-added features that not everybody needs, but a subset of your users are probably going to find some value in this. The 3 pieces are the virtual meeting. The capability of having your own personal conference bridge for handling audio, audio and video, and web conferences, all integrated into your Virtual Office service. So that's part of the Virtual Office Pro bundle. Anybody can take part in a Virtual Office meeting, but only the Virtual Office Pro users can actually set those meetings up, manage those meetings. So you need to have a Virtual Office Pro user in order to configure virtual meetings. And then you've got your call recording capability. So in the event that you're in an industry where it's important for you to record calls, such as maybe the insurance industry, legal industry, those are a couple examples where it just comes in handy. Or maybe you're somebody who's taking the meeting minutes and you want to record the meeting itself so that you can go back and make sure that you got the meeting details straight. You could use it for that as well. And then unlimited virtual fax, the ability to send internet-based faxes without having a fax machine. So I can send a fax from my computer, send that to somebody at the far end, and it doesn't matter to me whether they got a fax machine or they're receiving it at an internet fax, but I didn't have to send it from a fax machine. That's the key gain there, right? And so these are the three pieces that make up the Virtual Office Pro bundle. There's probably a subset of users within your organization who that would be a great benefit to, and that's how that plays out. All right. Virtual Office Online and Virtual Office Desktop, these are two different versions of the same client, and the difference is that the Virtual Office Desktop is a client that you install on your computer. It's that simple. Virtual Office Online is the client you would access when you don't have access to your computer. You can access it from any internet-connected computer, and that gives you the flexibility to log in and gain access to your full communication services wherever you find yourself. And so it's a powerful advantage. The key difference between the two clients is that the Virtual Office Desktop, because you've installed it on your computer, it's a little quicker because it's got all your settings, all your contacts built into it. They're already there. They're dynamically updated in the system all the time. Virtual Office Online, you've logged into a computer that's never seen you before. So now the connection has to go out and find your client, find all your settings, download that into the computer real quick here to have access in the background, and then provide connectivity for you there. So it takes just a little bit longer. It's really just at the setup that it's a little slower. But that's how that plays out for you. I'm going to toggle in right now and show you my Virtual Office Desktop client, and I'm going to sign in just so you see what that process looks like. I'm signing into Virtual Office Desktop right here on my computer, and this is going to allow me to access the service and everything that's going on with Virtual Office straight here from my computer. And as I log in, the first thing you see is that I'm on a phone call. Go figure. And so right there at my fingertips are all the different call control features that are offered straight off the top when I'm on a phone call. So I can mute the call. That would be rude. I can add another party to the call if I want to. I can access my keypad if I needed to key in DTMF digits for any reason. I can put you on hold. I am a Virtual Office Pro user, so I've got the ability to record calls here, so I could record it. I've got video capabilities built into the client, so I can add video if I wanted to, and I could transfer the call or end the call. And so that's the key call control features that are right there at my fingertips. I've also got my presence indicator up here that indicates that I'm on a call to anybody that looks out at their contact list and sees me in their contact list. And I can go up here, and I told you that you can automate presence largely, and my presence is automated to indicate that I'm on a phone call right now. I click on the little drop-down arrow next to my state. I could change my state if I wanted to, or I can come down here to the custom window, and when I look at the custom window, it shows me how to automate presence updates, to automatically change my status when I'm on a call. Yeah, check. When I'm on a virtual meeting, change my status to busy or whatever I want it to be, do not disturb maybe, and show the message I'm in a virtual meeting. And then I also want to update my status when I'm away for 10 minutes. If I've walked away and somebody sends me a text, well, it'd be nice if they knew ahead of time that I'd walked away. And then if they send me a text, well, it's their bad. It's on them, not me, right? But I can show this information. I can automate that. And so that's how that plays out. And that way, when I look at my contacts window, and I'm going to go over here to my favorites list, I see the present status of the people who are in my contacts list. So I can see that Daryl Addington is available, and Eric Archer is available, and Max Ball, and so on and so forth. And as I scroll down here, I'm going to see these are sorted by present state. As I scroll down here, I see that John McMorrow's on the phone, and Heather's on the phone right now. I can see that Hugh Reese is away. He's walked away from his desk. His computer is sitting in a screensaver mode right now. I could place a call to him. I could click over here and start a chat. He would probably be a bad choice right now. If I had a quick question I wanted to ask Heather, she may be willing to interrupt her phone call to answer my instant message if I sent her an instant message. Maybe, maybe not, but at least I know ahead of time what the situation is. Heather's on a phone call. Do I want to be interrupting her right now? I can make a judgment call on that. Angela York, I could send her an instant message right now or start a phone call with her or start a video conversation with Angela. And I've got all of her contact details right here at my fingertips. So her phone number, her internal extension, her fax number, and her email address. All that information is built right into my contact list. Somebody asked the question, are you on a wired network? I'm on a wireless network right now. And I'll actually show you a reason why I'm on a wireless network right now, but that's what I'm using right now. I'm on a Wi-Fi network at the corporate headquarters. So click to call, somebody asked about click to call. How do you do that? So here's my contact list, and I simply click on this icon right there next to Mike Reinhardt's name, and I am calling Mike Reinhardt. And because I'm internal, I would be calling him at his internal extension number, but in reality it doesn't matter. It's calling his number and engaging his extension, but I'm just dialing it through an internal extension so that from a network handling process, it's all handled on an internal basis. I meant on click to call the number on the browser. Oh, yeah, sure, I can show you that as well. I can also add anybody into my contact list. So I've got my wife in here on my contact list. She does not work at 8x8, but there she is. And so she's in here. I could start a chat with her. It would actually be an SMS. I'm sending an SMS to her cell phone in order to place that call. I could place a call out to her. But that's how I've got access to anybody. Let's see, I think Doug Green, he's an external partner that we work with, and I could send an SMS chat to his cell phone, or I could place a call out to somebody. These are non-internal parties, but they're part of my contact list, so I can click to call them and click to reach out to them very quickly. I've also got the ability within my contacts list, I've got all my contacts over here. They're sorted by organization. Here's my engineering team. If I wanted to make Bob Kundra one of my favorites, I would simply highlight Bob and then scroll down here, and that star indicates that I want to make that person one of my favorites in my contact list, and then he would be added into this list over here. And when the star is solid, that indicates that you have added that person to your favorites list. And it shows in your all contacts who has been added to your favorites. But if you just click on your favorites, you'll see them all parsed out so that you just got your favorites that are added into there. And the favorites are people that you're frequently communicating with, so you want to have them easy to find and quickly segmented out of your contact list. I've got a large contact list. We've got close to 600 people here now, so for me to sort through them all visually, it's nice for me just to do it this way. And then I've got my meetings here. We're in a meeting right now. If I wanted to set up a virtual meeting, I would click here on the New Meetings icon, and it drops me into this window here where I can set up the details behind my particular meeting. And so I give my meeting a name. I'll call it Weekly Team Meeting. Okay. And there's my call-in number. I can define the time that I want this meeting to take place. I could be right now if I wanted, or I can go into the calendar and pick a date, pick a time, and choose my meeting time, and choose my end time. And my time zone is going to be pulled from my settings. So I'm in the Pacific zone, so it'll add my time zone in there. If I wanted to change it because I'm traveling today and I'm in New York, let's say, I could have it set to the New York time zone just for my visual purposes so I'd understand that. Really, the time zone is going to show up to the end user who's included in your meeting based on their time zone, but this is for my visual purposes. I can repeat the meeting. I called this a weekly team meeting, so I suspect I probably want that to repeat every week. If I'm setting it up now on Friday, I might want it to happen every Friday, but if I'm setting it up for a different time frame, I could set that. And then these are the options that are part of my meeting. So do I want to enable users to do chat during the meeting? I can select that. Do I want to do presentation sharing, or is this strictly going to be an audio call? If I'm going to be doing sharing slides or looking at a document or what have you, I can do presentation sharing. If I want to announce parties as they join the conference, I can choose that. I find that annoying, so I will deselect that, because then you have this interruption. Somebody's talking and all of a sudden, beep, they were saying something important, but we got interrupted to hear John has just joined or whatever, you know. Did you really care? You can actually see in the meeting, you'll have a visual attendance list there showing you everybody who's in, so you don't really need that announcement there, but if you want it, you can have it. Require a moderator, that's an option if you, so let's talk about that for a second. Require a moderator. What that means is that if you require a moderator, you will, the parties as they join will not be able to talk to each other. They'll be listening to music on hold until the moderator joins. So the way you'd play that out is if it's an internal meeting, you probably don't need a moderator because people talk to each other internal all the time. There's no secrets there, hopefully, and letting them just talk freely, great. If you've got external parties on the line, maybe you don't want them talking to each other. Maybe it's a legal situation, or maybe it's a contract situation, what have you. You may want to keep those parties separate until the moderator joins, the moderator being you or somebody within the company, right? So require a moderator, it's an option there for you. And then I go down here and add the parties. I'm going to add John into my meeting. I'm going to add, let's add Heather into the meeting. There she is. Let's add Dave into the meeting. If I've got somebody who is on the outside world, let's say John Smith at acme.com, I can add John. And so that's how I add my parties. And if I want somebody else to be a moderator as well because they're going to be sharing documents, I can add that. If I want to just do that dynamically in the middle of the meeting, I can make anybody a moderator and have them share their desktop if I want to do it that way as well. And so that's how easy it is to set up the meetings. The virtual meeting capability, as I said earlier, is part of the Virtual Office Pro bundle. So you're only going to be able to add meetings here if you're a Virtual Office Pro user. You'll be able to join a meeting if a Virtual Office Pro user adds you into the meeting list, the meeting contacts, participants list. I'm going to close this particular meeting, and that gets added in there. And so that's how the meetings play out. Anybody have any questions? Doesn't look like it, all right, on that particular topic. Once you place a call on the computer and continue on your handset, yeah, you can start the call on the computer and then hand it over to a handset. You can start the call. All right, so you're asking about the call handover feature. And so the way that plays out right now, I am taking this call on my desk phone. If I wanted to hand the call over to my computer or vice versa from the computer to the desk phone or hand it over to my smartphone, I can do that. The feature code to do that is *88. What's the name of the company? 8x8. *88. You would just key that in. So from my phone call here, I would go to my keypad and key in *88, and now I'd hand that call over from my desk phone to my computer. Now, I'm not going to do that right now because I don't have a headset attached to the computer, and so the audio would get not so good if I did that right now. So I'm not going to do that, but that's how you do it. So during the middle of the call, just do *88 from the device you want the call moved to. So you've already got it on the other device. You're talking away on that device. You go to the device you want the call moved to, pick it up, got dial tone, hit *88. Now you've got the call there. So that's how that plays out. Faxes. So if you want to send a fax to somebody and don't want to go to the fax machine because that's old, outdated technology, or it's just inconvenient right now, you don't want to get up and move down to the fax machine, fill out a fax form, fill out the cover sheet, find the phone number, key in, and go through all the steps you do with a fax. You just want to make it simple. You do it this way. Key in the phone number. I'm just using the dial pad or the keypad on my computer. And key in, I want to add a cover sheet if I want to see what my cover sheet looks like. These are all the details from my cover sheet. You would add your details in there simply by hitting the edit button. Key in all of your details, add your file logos, your phone number, what have you, and put the subject of your email, name of the recipient, and now you go out to your computer or any network-connected computer, find the file that you want, add that into your fax. That becomes the body of your fax, and now you hit the Send Fax button. And that fax just got sent from your computer to the end user at their fax machine. Or maybe they're receiving it on their computer as well. You don't really care. You just want to know that you sent your fax is received, and that's how that plays out. Does 8x8 support CRM database, and what kind? Yes, we can connect and interface with a variety of different CRM tools. We integrate with Salesforce.com, Zendesk, NetSuite, Microsoft Dynamics, ACT, and we can integrate with a variety of others through our APIs, our application programming interface, to connect with a variety of different CRM tools out there. So that's how that plays out. My One Business phone number. This is an important asset that you gain with your 8x8 service. That One Business phone number I publish in my email signature, I publish on my business cards, and I take that number with me wherever I go. So this number is integrated to my extension, to my smartphone, to my desk phone, to my computer as a soft phone, and I take that with me wherever I go. And so when I'm going to take you over to email because somebody asked about this a little earlier. I'm going to take you to my email, and here's an email that I received from somebody that's got a bunch of phone numbers and addresses on it in this particular case, but I don't really care about the address because I'm not going there or sending a mail. I'm going to place a phone call. So I've got their phone number right here in my email, and I can click to call on that particular phone number. If I go out to the web and I key in something like Allstate is a good example because insurance people want you to be able to call them. And typically there's a phone number associated with it. So here I find a phone number on the web, and I can click to call that phone number straight from the web. The way I did that, the way I set that up, that's not out of the box, but the way I got there was I went out to 8x8.com, I clicked on Support, and within 8x8.com Support, I scroll down here, and I've got plugins and APIs. And I can download the plugin, and this particular plugin is called Click to Connect, Click to Pop Web Dialer. And what that allows me to do is exactly what I just showed you there. I have a click-to-call icon built into all my emails and built into all of my websites where I find a phone number. If the system identifies that as a phone number, they'll have that little click-to-call icon next to it, and you click on that, and it calls out to that phone number. So all you do really is you download this, install this plugin on your computer, and you're set up. Somebody asked about CRM integrations. I've got an integration on my computer right here with Zendesk. So if I go out to Zendesk, if I could spell, I could probably get there. I'm going to get rid of that J, and if I go out to Zendesk.com. And Zendesk has their own application store. I'm going to log into Zendesk. And key in my credentials here, and now I'm logged into Zendesk. And so the Zendesk tool comes up here, and I can click right here and sign in to Virtual Office from Zendesk. It's a built-in integrated tool here so that when I receive a call, and you can see that I'm on a phone call right now, go figure, it's automatically updated it, right? But when I receive a call and I'm logged into Zendesk in this case as my help desk or CRM tool, I would get the screen pop from who's calling me, and I would have the call control from Virtual Office simultaneously populated on my screen there. So that's how that plays out for me. And so it's very sweet. It's very tight. And from an end user's perspective, I didn't have to install anything in order to access this. It's all built into the Zendesk application store. So I go out to the Zendesk application store or the Salesforce.com application store, find the 8x8 Virtual Office plugin, load it, and then when I launch that application, my Virtual Office plugin is going to be accessible and launchable from within that application. So that's how those figure into the picture and give you an integrated end-user experience. It's a sweet thing because I don't have to have other things running and all my services are tied together. I mean, think about it. In this case, a CRM tool, I got a call coming in. Well, I want to have the screen pop, yeah, and I want to have the call control all right there on the same screen. And that's what we're bringing to the table for you. And you, as a business end user, you don't have to go through any costly, complex, time-consuming, confusing integration projects. It's very straightforward. So that's how that plays out, and that's how that integrates. So hopefully that answered the question you had. If you've got a different question, feel free to let me know that on that particular topic. I want to toggle over here and show you something that I think you're all going to find particularly useful, and that is a mobile device. And I'm going to show you my mobile application. So you're going to be looking here at Virtual Office Mobile on my smartphone. In this case, it's a iOS, an iPhone. And what you're seeing here is my contact list on my iPhone. This is my company directory, and as you're looking at this, you see that it's got the same presence indicators that I had when I was looking at my company directory on Virtual Office Desktop. So I can see who's available. I can see people who are on the phone. That is all going to be shown to me on my contact list. Another nice thing that's going on here, I mean, think about the situation here. I'm using my smartphone. Well, my smartphone has its own directory. I've got my corporate directory on my smartphone now, but now my smartphone has its directory. And what I can do in order to take advantage of my one number service, my one number access feature, is I can place calls to people who are in my smartphone directory from the Virtual Office mobile application, and the number they're going to see is my one number. It's not going to be my smartphone number. So what I've just done is found a way to protect the privacy of my cell phone, even when I'm placing a call to somebody from my cell phone, and that somebody is not an 8x8 contact. Hopefully you got that and understand what I'm talking about here. So all I do is, look at the party that I want to call, and I've got the click to chat button and the click to phone call right there on my contact list. And if I'm sending a chat and the phone number that I have there is a smartphone, because that person is not somebody that I'm integrated with from an instant messaging service standpoint, I'd be sending them an SMS message right now. So that's how that plays out. I've got all the same features on my smartphone that I have from my Virtual Office desktop client. So I can control my own status. I can change my status right here from the smartphone. And when I do that, it will automatically dynamically change that for me. I can change my call mode. So in the event that I want to, I've got the flexibility to use Wi-Fi only. I've got the ability to use the cellular call minutes, cell plan, or I can use my cellular data plan simply by going in here to my call mode and defining how I want to use it. So for outbound and inbound calls, what do I want to use? Cellular voice or Wi-Fi, mobile data? What do you want to use? What is going to give you the best quality and the best financial picture based on the way your plan is set up with your carrier? So you've got flexibility. You can go in here and control all of that. You've got access to your voicemail. All your voicemails are stored in here, as well as your SMS messages and your faxes. You can see access to the faxes right here from your smartphone. You can gain access to your call log and see the different calls that you've been using. And you can see where I did the star 88 feature to hand over a call recently. So all of that is built into my mobile device. So that's what I wanted to show you on that. You've got flexibility with regards to the plan you're using, flexibility to control the quality based on what you think is going to give you the best quality, and everything is built right in there, easy peasy. Does anybody have any questions about what I was showing there? I noticed that when you use the cellular voice for inbound, the ringtones, the 8x8 ringtones don't work. It uses my normal ringtones. Is that the only option? I believe that is. Let me go back to my cellular. I took it off of your screen, so you're not going to see what I'm doing right now, but I think you are absolutely right. I'm going into settings, and within settings, I've got, okay, let me show you this so you can see it. That's easy to get back there. Okay, you should be seeing my screen again. And so what I did is I went into settings. So I went into more and then settings, and I've got ring settings. And these are the different options I have. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this. I've got my cell phone set to mute, so that's not going to work. So these are the different settings that I've got. It's kind of quiet. Let me pop that up a little louder. Not a lot of real dynamic setting options for your ring settings. That's not really what this is all about. But you do have some control over it. But yeah, it's not your ringtones that you have on your computer or on your smartphone itself. That's probably something that we're working on as a roadmap item. I think you ought to be able to change that. And let me put that in as a suggestion to the product folks and see what we can do about that. But right now, you've just got the options that are listed on the client itself. Okay, let me toggle back over to my desktop and get out of this picture. Okay. Okay, turn the mirroring off there. Okay. Sometimes the fingers are a little quicker. Okay, there we go. Now we're back to my screen. All right. And I don't need to show you these mobile slides because we just walked through all that. But you've got all the same functionality on the mobile client as you do on the desktop client. The only difference is that well, I guess there's two differences. One is a plus on the mobile client. You've got access to all your mobile contacts and can place a call to them and have that one number service tie in. so that the people that you're calling are going to call you back if you don't reach them through your one number, telephone number, as opposed to your cell phone number. And then the other difference is from the mobile app, you don't have access to set up meetings. You can join a meeting, but you can't manage meetings from the mobile app yet. That's not in the picture yet. As far as resources go, there's some great resources that we've got out on our website. There's a couple of different ways you can access resources, so I'll show you these. From the Virtual Office desktop client itself, you've got the help bar right here, and you can go to Virtual Office Online Help. You can call our support desk right here. You can gain access to, you can send feedback. If you're experiencing audio difficulties, audio problem, if you send us feedback when that happens, we can gain access to your system, go back and look at the trace logs and find what was going on with that particular phone call and trace it back and figure out if there's something that is correctable that we can handle, if that was something that was happening on the carrier end that is going to be a dynamic change anyway. But we can find where the issue was and figure it out and fix it if it's something that we actually have access to control. If you click on the Virtual Office desktop, or excuse me, the Virtual Office Online Help, it takes you to a completely searchable document where you can go out here and find things like ringtones. And you click on ringtone. I guess I didn't have, that probably wasn't a great choice here. How about meetings? I'll key in the word meetings here, and I'll find different points within the online help here that are related to meetings. So you can quickly search in and find the answers to the particular topic that you're looking for right now. Maybe I've got a question about Outlook. I want to look at Outlook integration and find the details about that. Click here, and I can find details about my Outlook integration, using your contact directory, system requirements, configuring contacts. That's probably something you want to know. And so you can go out here and find, and wherever you see one of these little screenshots in here, if you mouse over it, it will expand and show you exactly what that screenshot was all about. So in this particular case, it was in my settings window, and it's going to show me how I can add my Outlook contacts into my Virtual Office desktop contact list. And here it shows you what that looks like, and so you're going to go in here and you'd want to select show Google contacts, show Exchange contacts, show my 8x8 personal contacts in my contact list. From a company directory perspective, show my company directory and my Exchange directory. If you want to do that, you can set that up through the settings window, and you go into the contacts list. So in order to get to the settings window, you click up there at the top and click down on settings, or down here at the bottom, an easy access point is this little gear wheel indicator here that takes you into the settings, and there's your contacts, and it looks just like the screenshot we were just looking at. So that's how that plays out, and this is also where you're going to go in and set up a bunch of different features. Somebody asked about, there was an interest in doing advanced call forwarding. So if I wanted to set up advanced call forwarding, I can do this in a couple of different ways. I've got a call forwarding window here, and I've also got this profile window. The profile window lets me set up additional devices, additional phones that I use for business purposes. And so I can go in here and set all these up ahead of time, and then when I'm working from home, I have access to that device right here in a drop-down window. So if I were to want to have all my calls coming from my remote office, if I were working from home today, I would select my remote office, and then when I place a call through the Virtual Office client, so I toggle over here and place a call to Karosh, the phone that's going to ring on my end is going to be that remote office phone. And then when I pick it up, the system is going to place my call out to Karosh, and it's going to reach him at whatever his destination is right now. He can be routing calls to his Virtual Office remote desk, and I'll be receiving him at his home phone, and I won't know it, but I don't really care. I just want to talk to Karosh wherever he may be, and that's how I play that out. And so I'm calling from indicates what device I'm going to be placing the calls from, what device I'm using, and I'm forwarding all my calls to is going to be where calls get routed. And I click on that and I see that same drop-down list, that same list that I created over here in my settings window, right? And I'm going to pop over here to the call forwarding and show you the advanced call forwarding. So advanced call forwarding. I just showed you basic call forwarding. That is, all my calls are going to be routed to this destination if I want to set that up. Now the good side of that is it's a quick and easy thing. I click one button and all my calls are forwarded. The bad thing about that is all my calls are forwarded so that my one single unified mailbox that I was telling you about, well, all bets are off on that now, right? Because I've just forwarded all my calls to an external destination that 8x8 Virtual Office has no control over. If that destination has its own voicemail box associated with it, guess where all your calls that you don't answer are going to? That remote voicemail box, whatever that may be. But if I have a different model that I want to use, I can go this way. I want to set up priority call routing rules so that in the event that most callers are going to be routed to my voicemail right now because I'm in a meeting, I'm on vacation, I'm in some other situation where my disposition says I don't want to be taking just calls from anybody right now, but I do want to be taking calls from my spouse, from my kids, from my boss, from my high-value clients, whatever. I can go in here and create an additional rule. I'm going to add a rule here that's going to allow me to set up priority call routing. And I want this to come from certain calls for people who are going to be calling me from a different destination. So I am going to set up not any number, forward calls to David Leach. I'm going to have these calls be routed to me at a different destination. So a call from anyone, I want to deselect that, and I'm going to go down here from any of the devices below. Now, this can be a block list, or this can be an allow list. And I'm choosing the option right here, right? So let's say I'm going to put in my wife's number, and I'm going to add that one here, and I'm going to put in, let's say, my boss's number. I'm going to add her into the list. And let's say I have, I'm sales coverage for the 415 area code. So I want to add any call from 415. I can put all those different parties into my allow list. So that way, in a situation where all my calls are going to voicemail, these people calling from these destinations or these sources are going to be routed directly to, and in this case, I can route them to whatever I want. Let's say I want to route them to my cell phone. And I can add that into the destination. Now all my calls will be routed to my cell phone. And so that's how I set up priority call routing rules, advanced call forwarding. And so that's how that plays out. Do you want to discard that? Make sure any changes that you make in the settings windows that you save them before you leave. Otherwise, the changes that you made will not be, saved, and they won't be tracked, and you just kind of wasted your time there. So tips on that, this might have been covered already. Can you send IM from the small app? Yeah, absolutely. Right here from your contact list, I've got all these different folks in my contact list. I can send an instant message to Daryl. If I could spell, Daryl might even see it. I send that off, boom, he gets that. And that gets sent off to Daryl's instant messaging service. I can integrate with things like Google Chat and other instant messaging services. And then people who are in my contact list but I don't have an instant message connectivity to them, I would be sending them an SMS message in that case. So that's how that plays out. All righty. I think I covered most of what I wanted to cover with you. The other thing I want to show you is back on the 8x8 support site. If you go to 8x8.com and then click on support right here, it drops you down into this window, and you've got access to a lot of different documentation, access to our service if you want to call us and talk to our service organization. You can call us if you want to download manuals, if you want to access to video tutorials about different things. You've gone through a webinar here, but some of this stuff isn't going to sync, probably 80–90% of it over the course of a week or two, right? But if you start using it, it's very intuitive, I find. I was up and running on Virtual Office within the first couple of days of using it, so it's pretty straightforward stuff. And then you've also got access to documentation, call flow setup, desk phone help. You can access our billing and payment services. There's a lot of different tools that are right here at your fingertips, and our website is very easy to search on. You can do, well, here's something, hints and tips. If I do a search on hints and tips, right here at the top, hints and tips comes up. And it takes you to a website that's got a lot of different documents that are they're actually just little web pages here that give you a quick insight into a particular topic that may have been puzzling you or you're trying to figure it out. Go out to 8x8.com, click on the search, type in hints and tips. Here it is, and here's different hints and tips on a lot of different topics. So lots of easy information, easily accessible to you. The clients themselves are pretty straightforward. Help is built into the client, so you don't have to go anywhere to find help. It's right here. That's about all I have to say to you right now. I thank you for engaging with me, posting your questions as we're going through here. I'm going to hold on for a couple minutes here in case you have additional questions. But I thank you for joining the webinar today, and I hope you're having a great Friday afternoon. As I said, I'll hang on right here for a moment.